Hola! This is going to be a little video that was requested from one of my patrons about how I start my sketches and how I pick my colors. I always start by reading the player's handbook for whatever class I'm going to be drawing for. Like this was Druids. As I read the handbook, I start a list of every idea that I can possibly think of. Like you'll see the list here is like super long. Anything that I think that I could draw, I write down. A lot of the ideas are very abstract, like circle the land. It doesn't give me much, but what really helps me is trying to think of a character that's a druid and is using all these things that I'm about to draw. So it's a real person, like what would they need? So I think, oh, a totem of a bear. Or they have good berries, so maybe they want to make some pie. I had such a hard time with things like sorcerer because it's so abstract, the ideas behind the class. It's like, well, magic, dragon bloodlines. That one was really hard. Paladin had more things, maybe too many things. So many holy symbols I could try to draw. And monk was another one that was very abstract because it's all about movement and not a lot of weapons, and how do you even draw a shadow? So yeah, some classes easier than others. Now for the colors. I had my first idea, my main idea was birch trees. So I knew I needed yellow and I wanted like a light bluish gray and a darker blue-green color. And definitely not brown. I really don't like the color brown, so I try really hard not to use it, but for Druid it's like, I need to draw tree things and wood. So what I decided to do instead was to pick a kind of like peachy pink color to work as like what brown would be. And to tie it all together, I decided to add some red wine color to make this plant a little bit more interesting than it just being green. And one of my ideas for the design was good berries, so that kind of went together very well. So my final palette ended up being yellow, green, and like this bluish green color and pinks. I love using contrasting colors like this. Like for the bard design, I use yellow, orange, and blues. For the wizard design, I use purple and yellow. It just works. The only problem is that I end up using the same color combinations a lot. But you know, no one's complaining that I'm not original every time that I pick my colors. I'm hoping that it just means that when people see something of mine, they go, oh, that looked just like Paula's colors. And when I'm picking my colors, I always try to select something that would work as a base. Usually I go with cream, but I try to change it as much as I can. Just something that would work in the place of white, and always try to pick a dark color that would work as contrast for all the other colors. Usually ends up being like a dark blue. Those are just my favorite. And now for the fun part, assigning color to everything else. As you can see, I changed my mind a lot. This teapot, for example, the colors were just not giving me the contrast that I wanted until I went with this cream, this is why I always try to get like a very light color, medium tone colors, and like a darker color, because I know that medium tones sometimes are going to clash, or they're just not gonna have the contrast that I want. And I love my unsaturated medium tones, and sometimes they just clash together, so then I have to get creative with how I put them together. I hope it was fun to see inside my sketchbook and a little of my thought process on just how I pick colors. It's not a science, but definitely a work in progress. Take care. Bye.